It is a big achievement for Israel, and it generates a sense of satisfaction, of victory, of justice. Just as Israel marked the 1 year for October 7 to see the mastermind, the architect of this gun was something that the Israeli public wanted, that the Israeli leadership strived for, and it helped change the geostrategic situation within the broader Middle East, because over the last 3 months, basically, Israel was successful in eliminating the leaders of two of its major enemies on its borders, whether it's Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, bringing it closer to its war objectives of making sure that Hamas is no longer a military threat, no longer governing Gaza. Now it's time to deal with the third objective of the war, releasing the hostages, 101 still held by Hamas, and with this game-changing event, I think effort should be made to spark another push for a hostage release, an effort that was failing time and time again throughout 2024.
So expand on that for me. How do you believe Sinwar's death is going to influence Israel's military objectives in Gaza? You say this is perhaps an opportunity for Israel to declare victory and finally accept a ceasefire here. Will that really happen?
So the declaring victory is important because over the last few weeks, we already saw Israel saying that it's basically dismantled the military power of Hamas, especially in the southern part of Gaza, in Rafah. Those were statements coming out from the officials. Now with the leadership of Hamas basically gone, I think that combines into the sense of war objectives being met. But we have major differences of objectives here because Israel has a right-wing coalition that basically sees the continuation of some sort of fighting with Hamas in Gaza, whatever power Hamas has, in preventing the Palestinian Authority from going to Gaza, in preventing progress towards a two-state solution, and maybe even in consolidating Israeli continued presence in Gaza as part of its goals. And that goes in contrast to all those saying we need to end the war, we need to find a pathway to peace, we need to leverage this to change the regional reality. And the question is, how do you get the hostages out? I think within the Israeli government, there's aspiration that now that things change within Gaza, within Hamas, maybe you could incentivize those people holding the hostages to release them by offering impunity, financial incentives, etc. Will there be new intelligence available for the Israeli military now to find where those hostages were, according to what has been found on Sinwar's body, for example? So one sense I think that Netanyahu wants is let's move to release hostages without ending the war. I think what the Americans and the media should do is try to create this linkage now of this major event working in Israel's favor to make the push, a big diplomatic push with all necessary effort to find a deal that ends Gaza, that ends the war in Lebanon, and that charts a new pathway as the administration goes into its final week in office.
And, you know, there's every concern that Hamas could continue to regroup here and perhaps look for a successor. But as an extension to that, what implications does his death have for broader regional dynamics now, particularly regarding Iran and its other proxies?
And of course, it happens at a timing in which all eyes were set on Iran, because Israel has been preparing over the last couple of weeks to retaliate on the Iran missile attack of October 1st. There was a lot of coordination happening with the Americans, perhaps with others. So that was kind of the big regional event that people were looking for, that still is in the pipeline and can still lead to further escalation. And as you mentioned at the beginning, there is also warfare going on with Hezbollah that is not going anywhere. So the prospects of this ending everything are not immediate, but it could generate, I think, regional countries to work in reshaping the internal realities, like the process we saw in Lebanon after the killing of Nasrallah and the weakening of Hezbollah, in which regional countries, together with Western allies, try to calculate whether now is the time to resolve the political crisis within Lebanon, select a new president, weaken Hezbollah's hold on the place. Now maybe something similar could be generated regarding Gaza, empowering the Palestinian Authority, bringing in those regional actors that can contribute to securing a different future. But for that, first, you need to tackle the big obstacle, which is the Israeli government's wish to stay in Gaza. I think that goes in contrast, and that's only the American could do. Until now, they failed. Maybe now they could do better.